Aero Products has just made several minor improvements to their incredibly popular Rock Vise. In this video, we're going to get the new version out of the box. We're going to mount it, and I'll talk about the 10 different things we use it for frequently here at the Ultimate Reloader shop. Hey guys, Gavin Gear here from ultimatereloader.com. We do use our Rock Vise for a ton of day-to-day activities here at Ultimate Reloader. There's the Rock Vise itself. We've also got some accessories from Aero Products like the scope leveling tool, the AR-15 magwell holder, and the reaction rod for AR-15 uppers. We've shown all this on the channel. We have this one that's mounted to our bench. We have one that's mounted to a pedestal. We recently published a video talking about that particular installation. What I want to do is get the latest version out of the box, and we'll see what improvements have been made. Okay, so here it is, the latest and greatest Rock Vise from Aero Products. We've got the main assembly, the knob. We've got an optional side tray, which they customized for us. Pretty cool, huh? We've got mounting hardware. We've got a sticker, and I'll have to say the new green, I'm a huge fan because you all know green is my favorite color. And then our printed materials. So that's what's included with the Rock Vise as of today. Next time I'm going to get it mounted, and then we can contrast some of the improvements compared to the original. Okay, so I got the Rock Vise mounted and put together. Mounting, I'm just using 4 1/4-20 screws for this custom Ultimate Reloader bench mounting plate that I made. And then there's 2 screws that go down through 2 holes on the tray. You can see the other 2 tapped holes here. You can use it on either side. So quickly, to go over some of the improvements here, the lever has been moved from one end to the middle, as we can see here. The knob, if you choose to upgrade to the knob, is a little bit shorter just for improved ergonomics. And then finally, Aero Products has moved to all laser engraving as opposed to some of the milling engraving that was done there. This thing looks really nice, and I especially love the fact that they upgraded the color to green. So the lever that the Rock Vise comes with is good, but I'm going to go ahead and upgrade to the knob. It's a little bit faster to use, and it looks real nice. So that's going to come out. The knob is going to go in, and that is all there is to it. So let me give you an overview of the basics of using the Rock Vise. There is a lever here that tensions the rod. There's a very effective mechanical pinch clamp here. And on one side we have an A for ARCA. On the other side we have a P for Picatinny. What we've got here is a rifle with an ARCA rail that we want to secure the rifle with. So we're going to go ahead and have A facing up for ARCA. And then we're just going to kind of rotate this into position and then use the knob to clamp it. Now notice how secure that is. Now we can loosen the lever, and what's nice about this kind of a rifle setup is it's very well balanced. So the rifle doesn't want to fall or anything. It's just really easy to position it for various tasks that we might want to perform. So that is kind of the basics of using the Rock Vise. And I will also note that if you loosen the clamp, you can push the entire rod in and out for more precise positioning, for clearance between something like this bolt handle spinning around in your bench top, and so on and so forth. So let's talk about 10 things that we do all the time with the Rock Vise. The first is mounting scope rails and mounting scopes. So this is where we can optionally use the scope leveling tool. The scope leveling tool involves getting the scope onto the rifle, checking your eye relief, and then finger tightening everything. Then you're going to take the scope off, put this scope leveling tool onto the Rock Vise. Notice it's got ARCA on the bottom, and then go ahead and get the level set and level the scope. It's really a straightforward process, and we've got a complete video describing that process. The second thing that we use the Rock Vise for all the time is to hold a stock. Typically we use this vertical position to install a barreled action into the stock. It gives us access to the action screws, front and rear, real easy. We can see it being guided in, being very careful, of course, of the trigger because it's a very fragile component, and it's nice to not have to hold the stock as a part of that entire process. The third thing we do here all the time with the Rock Vise is to install triggers onto actions. Typically, we're working with a Remington 700 clone with a Picatinny rail on top. So what we'll do is we'll spin this around to present the P, clamp the action, and what you want to do is slide it as far forward as you can so that where the clamp is securing the action is basically right under where the trigger pins are. This allows us to place the trigger and then hammer those pins into place. It's very, very secure, and it makes the job a lot easier. The fourth thing we use the Rock Vise for all the time at the shop is AR gunsmithing. We'll take our lower receiver vise block, use the Picatinny clamp to secure that in place. Now we can drop the AR onto the vise block, give it a little bit of a tension. Now, like for this AR, looks like we need to put on a grip. That allows us to angle it just how we need it, do whatever we need to do. Trigger installs, great for that. Removing the upper, cleaning the upper, putting it back on. Thousands of uses with the AR. The fifth common use for the Rock Vise is cleaning rifles. So here we have a bolt action rifle. We have it secured in place. We could do things like remove the cheek riser, remove the bolt. Now we can put our bore guide in place, and we have a super, super secure hold on the rifle so that we can push on that cleaning rod and jag, get the patch through, maybe even set up a garbage can so that the patches can fall into place. Very convenient and the most secure way we've ever held a rifle to clean it. The sixth use would be for pistol gunsmithing, like mounting a red dot on a pistol. We have several pistols that have Picatinny rails on the bottom forward section. Just put the Picatinny clamp facing up, clamp the front of the lower portion of the pistol frame. Now we can gunsmith, do whatever we need. Okay, for the seventh activity, we literally do this all the time, would be mounting and clocking a brake. So let's say I position the rifle as such. Now we can put a level on some feature on the rifle. We can put a level on our brake. Makes it really easy to get in here and do some wrenching. Or it could even be mounting a suppressor or swapping from muzzle device to muzzle device. The Rock Vise holds the rifle super secure. It holds it in one level condition, and that makes it a lot easier to get things positioned, clocked, removed. And sometimes these muzzle devices are really stubborn. Having such a secure mounting platform helps tremendously. Okay, so the eighth thing that we use the Rock Vise for on a semi-frequent basis is bedding barreled actions to stocks. And one of the extreme cases of doing this was for the Incredible Hulk. This started out as a 50 BMG rifle, but when I upgraded it to 375 Chi-Tac with a new barrel that I spun up and a new bolt from Bat Machine, I thought it would be a great idea to bed that action to the Accurate Rifle Systems ELR chassis. This was a very particular, very involved, intricate process, and I was shocked at how securely the Rock Vise can clamp onto a 44-pound rifle and position it for that type of work. It was absolutely awesome. The ninth thing that we do all the time with the Rock Vise is to mount and adjust buttstocks. So the Ultradyne UD chassis system, for instance, it has ARCA on the bottom, so we're going to use the ARCA rail. Look at this positioning capability. Now we can get our castle nut wrench on here. We can do an install. We can get it clocked correctly. We can put our set screw in. You know, I've done this many, many times without the Rock Vise, but since getting the Rock Vise, I wouldn't do it without it, literally. The 10th thing that we use the Rock Vise for all the time is installing accessories. And this UD chassis is a great example of where you might want to take this spigot, drop it down in, put the screws in place, or maybe we'll have it sitting here level and install some internal weights or some external M-lock weights. This is just such an elegant way to do work and is so flexible. It's hard to believe how such a simple device can make such a big difference in the shop. So I hope it's helpful for you to see a bit of a behind the scenes look at how we're using the Rock Vise here at Ultimate Reloader. If you're interested in getting your own Rock Vise or some of these accessories, go to aeroproductsusa.com. Also, I'd love to know, did I miss something important? Do you have a Rock Vise and are you using it for a very particular process? Drop a comment and I'll join you guys in the comments section. Thank you very much for watching. That concludes this video, and that means it's time to wrap it up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you're watching Ultimate Reloader on TV and want to take advantage of free resources, exclusives, and hot deals, just hold your camera phone up to the QR code, tap on the link, fill out the information, boom, you're getting Ultimate Reloader emails. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Also, we're on Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, where we've got unrestricted content, and Instagram. Make sure to follow us on all those channels. Ultimate Reloader also has a commercial solutions division serving law enforcement, the military, and the gun industry. We have some unique capabilities, including a comprehensive suite of recoil testing and evaluation capabilities, trigger profiling, and more. Thanks again for watching.